I didn't see you there. I was just going through some letters of folks guessing who I'm going to cover next for Bunny Month. Let's see here. Io Chainsmoker asks, is the next vid going to be on Bond from the Walton Files? Well, now that's an excellent guess. I do love me an analog horror series about a supernatural rabbit. In fact, that reminds me of something. Geez, it's on the tip of my tongue. Oh, look. This message from the real Mario Brian reads, I've been meaning to watch the Angel Hare series. Oh, right. The one about... Well, it looks like that's all the mail we got today. Keep writing in, friends. Gabby loves to hear you call. Hi, I'm Nervous, and today we're covering what I would call something of an anomaly in the world of analog horror. Angel Hare is a story told in 3 seasons, focusing on 3 different angel hares, though arguably most importantly, Angel Gabby. Living entirely for free on YouTube, this series was created by the channel The East Patch. It follows a man named Jonah looking for answers about his mysterious past. Blurry memories and burning questions follow him as he realizes a children's show he grew up with had some strange quirks. It knew things about him, things he wasn't even sure of himself. Now, before we get too far into this video, I want to urge you to pause this and go watch Angel Hare right now for yourself. I won't be laying out the entire story for you here, but I will be getting into spoilers, so if you want a spoiler-free experience watching it, I'll have the full playlist in the description of the video. If you want me to do a full deep dive on every video, let me know, because I will, but today I just want to focus on why Angel Hare is as brilliant as it is, and why it's potentially my favorite analog horror series, at least very securely in the top 3. Besides, if you want a deep dive, there are already great ones out there. I might throw some up on the screen, but at the very least, they'll also be in the description below. Today, I'm just going to be providing a brief summary of all 3 chapters, so I'll do my best to make sure you can follow my praises of the show, but know that this video won't fully encompass all Angel Hare has to offer. As always, don't forget to like the video if you enjoy it, subscribe to become a part of the nervous system, and without further ado, let's get into the video. Jonah's motivations begin simply. He finds a VHS tape of a show he loved as a child, Angel Hare. However, when he watches it, it's not like what he remembered. He remembered the titular angel, Angel Gabby, speaking to an off-screen character named Jonah. He thought it was special that he had the same name as this character. After doing some digging, he found his old recordings of the show and, well, there are differences. I'll let you see for yourself.
Angel Gabby. Oh, Angel Gabby.
Good morning, Francis. I love to hear you call. Oh, have you brought a new friend with you?
Yes, but I'm fearful, Angel Gabby. I never know what to say.
That's okay, Francis. Meeting new people doesn't have to be scary. Just introduce yourself and ask them to do the same. Hello there. My name is Angel Gabby. What's yours? That's a beautiful name. It's wonderful to meet you, and I hope we can be friends. Fear should never control you, Francis. I'll show you how to meet someone new. First, you introduce yourself and ask them to do the same. Hello there. My name is Angel Gabriel. What's yours? It's wonderful to meet you, Jonah. I hope I can be a good friend to you.
Oh, but Gabby, how can I have the strength to face the day? All the rain has got me shivery and sad.
Oh, Francis, it's simple. Faith and hope give us the strength to face every challenge. The sun is warm sometimes, Jonah, but you shouldn't forget the moments when it burns you. You will need strength to be resilient during times of comfort, and fortitude to be brave during times of heat. I can show you how to be stronger.
From here, Jonah continues watching the tapes, each one more and more different from the originals. They begin to reveal pieces of Jonah's missing memory, how he and his mom didn't always live alone. Angel Gabby, who has now introduced herself as Angel Gabriel, teaches Jonah how to be strong, how to know when someone is dangerous, and how to lock himself in his room, sit in his closet, and breathe to keep himself calm. Watching the tapes, it's clear something happened to Jonah's dad or otherwise father figure, who is described as a dangerous person that Gabby wants to protect Jonah from. She even instructs him to disassemble and hide parts of a gun.
Now that we've got the pieces apart, let's think of somewhere to hide them where nobody can use them for harm.
We never learn exactly what happened, but we know Gabby asked Jonah what he wanted her to do and instructed him to have an alibi. Season 1 ends with Jonah desperate to speak to Gabby again to understand what happened, so he live streams the show to simulate a broadcast, hoping that this is the key to reaching the real Gabby. And it works. Jonah and Angel Gabby are reunited. Until...
All alone Monday, myself Thursday, twirling my Friday is my day, so on Saturday
Angel Gabby, Gabby, oh Angel Gabby.
I'm certain I could endure the lonely if I were only all alone with you.
Jonah is distraught over Angel Gabby's sudden disappearance, refusing to stop streaming and waiting for her return. One day, a pair of ears appear over the clouds, unfamiliar ones. Gabby's companion, Francis the Badger, refers to him as Angel Zaggy. Now, we haven't talked much about Francis, but he is a great help to us understanding the function of angel hairs within this world. And he also talks about demon hairs, or at least he tries to.
Our next question is from Stephanie. Thanks for writing, Steph. Oh my, she writes, are there any demon hairs? As a matter of fact, there's quite a diverse lexicon of, she doesn't like me talking about all that.
Zag is analytical and cold, and Jonah is distressed and scared he may be responsible for Gabby's disappearance somehow. The two have an immediate distrust of each other despite having the same goal of finding Angel Gabby. However, they ultimately realize the only way they're going to achieve their goal is if they trust each other. Zag instructs Jonah, and Jonah listens. It is revealed that Zag is not actually a part of Angel's show, but another, Wild Hare, a detective show starring Zag Wild. The group uses the investigative format of the show to help them find answers about Angel Gabby, and they come to the conclusion that streaming her show may have caused her to get lost in the streams. So they stream from as many screens as possible to call her back. And she returns, fragmented. Hearing the call of troubled children across the world, she tried to be everywhere for them, all at once. Zag, Francis, and Jonah are able to get her back in one piece, and she decides she and Zag need to adapt to the new world of the internet with Jonah's help.
There are so many voices calling. It isn't like before, Zagzagel. Would it bother you, Jonah, if I'm not the perfect guardian you remember? If things didn't stay the way they were and I needed you too?
What? You want a guy on the outside again?
And isn't it interesting that this is an analog horror series about helping children? Or is Jonah misguided in trusting these hairs? Were they locked away, no longer broadcast to the masses, for a reason? Jonah seemed obsessed with Angel Gabby during his childhood, and upon remembering her in adulthood, it was much the same. During season 1, we see Jonah go home and find evidence that his mother knew something was going on with angel hair, that it was affecting her son. She had videos on children with anger issues and how to help them. Was Jonah violent? Did Gabby make Jonah violent? These are answers the story doesn't give us. It also doesn't want to tell us about demon hairs. Francis can't speak about them, or Gabby gets upset. And Zagzagel, who we learn is the full name of Zag, isn't any help either. Jonah asks how their world works, what they are, how he knows Gabby. Zag answers none of those questions.
Look, buddy, I need you to slow down and ask yourself an important question right now. Think about your little rabbit friend and really ask, do you want to know? Or do you want her back? Huh?
But even with that mystery, as these stories in the analog horror sector tend to go, this one feels different. It's also interesting that only one death has occurred in this series, and even that we're speculating on. We just know that Gabby did something or helped Jonah do something, and after that, Jonah and his mom lived alone. Jonah isn't running from a threat or from his past, which is extra interesting considering all of the religious references to Christianity contained within this series. Jonah shares a name with a popular biblical character, and he also shares the trait of receiving messages from on high. Zag even refers to him as the man on the outside. His purpose now even seems to be delivering the message of Angel Gabby to the masses. The biblical Jonah similarly delivered God's messages until he was asked to go somewhere so full of violence that he was afraid. Luckily, so far, our Jonah seems more willing to help even when he is afraid. The story doesn't lead us down a path of despair, but one of hope. Jonah's learning lessons just like he did when he was younger. He's being comforted and not asked to do anything dangerous, as far as we can tell. Gabby and Zag seem good. And that's such a strange and, in my opinion, refreshing direction for this series to take. It's almost more like an analog mystery than an analog horror. But we do have one more rabbit to discuss. Season 3 introduces us to a new human character, Segan. He reveals himself as Jonah's alibi. Segan feels used by Jonah, but he also knows what Jonah is capable of. See, Sagan has an old floppy disk video game called Hare in the Rocks, and it has very similar properties to Angel Hare. The game changes every time Sagan plays it, creating quests that seem to relate to issues he's struggling with in real life. He sends the disc to Jonah because the game is acting stranger than usual. Angel Gabby knows what the game is and who inhabits it. Camael. While Gabriel is a messenger and guardian to Jonah and Zagzagel is an angel of knowledge and wisdom, Camael is a warrior angel. So it makes sense that they would choose to inhabit a video game with combat and challenges for the player to overcome. Upon receiving the disc, Jonah plays the game while the others take on forms of game characters. The game prompts him to embark on his journey and come back a good friend. They find the game in a state of disarray, missing assets, and Jonah remarks that it feels lonely. Jonah is attempting to use skips to hurry through the game and find this third Angel Hare, but Camael calls him out on it.
What's this? No quests, no gesture, no deeds? I'm afraid you can't actually beat the game with so few points. I thought you'd come here and prove you were a good friend, but what do you have to show for it?
Sagan isn't your friend. You just used him to get out of your house, to play his games. Do you know how long he suffered?
It becomes clear that Camael isn't just a character in the game, they are the game. The whole game. All alone and constantly working to create new challenges, all in the name of helping Segan be confident and strong. Jonah can see the toll this has taken on Cam and reports back to Gabby and Zag. And Angel Gabby forces Cam out of Hyrax and into Angel Hare. The series ends as Cam is forced to face their own battle, taking care of themselves. They have been neglecting themselves as their focus was on making Segan feel better by always giving him a battle to win.
I know what I'm doing. People like to win.
That you are always true, but seeing is believing.
Camael realizes that despite all they did for Segan, that he really just needed a friend. And Cam goes back into Hyrax, hoping to become a good friend. We see Jonah call Segan, and credits roll over the two meeting again, in person. No screens, no games, just two old friends becoming good friends.
My childhood daze. Hold on a minute.
The East Patch was clearly intentional in every part of creating this series. The visuals and soundtrack are incredibly memorable and effective. Angel Hair captures what a low-budget religious cartoon would look and sound like. The art is inviting but not overly colorful, and Gabby's voice is comforting and empathetic while still having an air of authority.
I'll always be your
in any
warrior,
case-
Jonah.
Meanwhile, Wild Hare perfectly emulates the 1960s cartoon style of shows like The Adventures of Batman, giving Zag a perfect backdrop to be more mysterious than Gabby. His voice is just as mysterious, to the point and firm, but not without emotion.
You ask me? Kids are smart. Show them what to do, they'll figure it out without the song and dance.
I also think the touch of keeping the noses in shadow to still give the illusion of a rabbit nose shows how thoughtful the creators were throughout. Even Camael in their text-based adventure game is given hair that drapes down like their lop ears when they're in rabbit form. In addition, their character being an amalgamation of every game asset shows Cam's need for control. Their voice is defensive and androgynous.
I'm not stupid, detective.
The human characters are written intentionally as well for what little we know about them. Segen is not only German for blessing, but also can be translated from Hebrew to mean lieutenant. How fitting for a character that is associated with a warrior angel and in ways served as a blessing to Jonah. An alibi as a child, but now as a chance for Jonah to do things differently, to be a true friend to someone he left behind. Angel Hair isn't a story about demons using technology to lure humans into temptation. It is one that reveals our demons live inside us. Francis even tells us as much.
I sure wish I could share more. But just know that demon hairs don't always appear as plainly as a rabbit with horns. Sometimes they look like an opportunity or a feeling.
Segen shut himself away from everyone around him, and Jonah struggled with independence. Either could have gone down a dark path. Sagan's grudge could have prevented him from seeking help from Jonah, and Jonah could have been so attached to Gabby and her comfort that he refused to let her help others. But instead, they asked for help, accepted it, and were able to overcome and grow. That's the magic of Angel Hair. It's a series with dark themes and surrounding beings with immense power that doesn't go the predictable route. In many other genres, this story would actually be pretty cliche, but in the setting of analog horror, it subverts every expectation. I expected Gabby to be a dark force in Jonah's life, but she wasn't. I expected Zag to reveal that Jonah had unleashed Gabby's power, causing chaos, but he didn't. I expected Camael to go ballistic and try to hurt Jonah, but they didn't. Each angel served their purpose and also stepped outside of their comfort zone to help each other. The series leaves no major loose ends, but it doesn't explain everything either. There are still discussions to be had about the creators and distributors of the shows and game, A Wreath of Life. We know the Hares quote scripture from the Christian Bible, but Gabby's show is the only one with religious leanings, so are they really literal biblical angels, or do they just hold to those references because it's what a human would be able to comprehend? And how much power do they hold over the real world if Gabby was seemingly able to make Jonah's dad and any record of what happened to him go away? It can be interpreted a number of ways, and I think that's just a testament, no pun intended, to the East Patch's storytelling ability. Angel Hair didn't have to break the mold to be a good story, but doing so made it a great one. There is a captivating atmosphere that feels alive throughout the story of Angel Hair, and if you haven't experienced it, don't let knowing the destination stop you from taking the journey. While Angel Hair does have a solid following, I think it gets less attention than other series because it does wrap itself up pretty nicely, and it has no big badge to point to. What it does have is heart, intrigue, and some really adorable rabbits. So please check it out for yourself, as well as their other series, Rot, a science fiction focused story where viewers vote on the fate of the characters. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to leave a like, and if you haven't already, subscribe to become a part of the nervous system. Next week, I'm going to be talking about more rabbits as we close out Bunny Month with an extra special collab video I am so excited to share with you all. Let me know who you think it is in the comments below. I upload videos every week and go live on Wednesdays and Fridays usually, but if you can't wait, there are videos on the screen right now just for you. Okay, bye! And just for anyone wondering about the Band-Aid, I sliced in between my fingers with an entire pile of mail.